Okay guys, we're here in the airport in Medellin, heading to Cartagena, day 3 of your boot camp?
Yeah, day 3.
Day 3. So,
changing cities.
Yes, on to bigger and better things. 2 favorite cities in Colombia, Medellin and Cartagena, incredibly delicious. We didn't plan to match, by the way. Noticed when we went to the video.
We pulled up the video and we're like, oh, we're matching.
Okay, so Ege, give us an update. How's things going for you so far in your boot camp?
Yeah, man, things are going great. Yesterday I felt a lot more comfortable, especially with the eye contact and the non-verbals. It took a little bit of time to adjust to a different culture, coming from the West where people definitely don't touch each other as much.
We're gonna have to put up with that shit for now.
But yeah, so then the main update is actually the first ever approach that I did in Colombia.
Is that your first one there?
Yeah, that's my first one.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we literally walked out of the hotel.
We walked out of the hotel and we walked like half a block.
Yeah.
And then these 2 girls walked by you and I was like, hey, go. To your credit, every single person I've told you to go talk to, you immediately go.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Thanks,
it's kind of like a coach's, I wouldn't say dream, but it makes it so much easier as a coach. We're not fighting on stuff. So that's awesome. So anyway, we walked by these 2 chicks.
Yeah,
you immediately ran after them.
We walked by these 2 girls and then Finn was like, man, he has to go. He's like, oh, what did I say? And you're like, go. So I was like, all right. First time to practice my Spanish. So I went in. It was my first approach, so I was trying to figure out the language in my head, and there's a lot going on. But I gave the compliments, stopped them, talked to them for a little bit, and you joined in just like right towards the end. But anyway, what happened is clearly, since it was my first approach and there's a lot going in my head, I didn't build enough comfort to like actually go out with a girl that was interested. So she was like, oh no, like I can't give you my number, it's just, no. But funny thing is when for the whole day we went out different parts of the city, we come back to the mall that is right next to our hotel.
We might need to talk a little bit louder for the...
Okay. So we come back to the mall that's right next to our hotel, and I think you wanted to grab coffee, right? So we walk in.
Let's just wait for the lady to finish her important announcements. It's not as important as what we're trying to talk about, but... Okay, go ahead.
So I think you wanted coffee, right?
That's probably a famous safe
Yeah,
guess.
there you go. Finn wants coffee all the time. That's the point. But we walk in, and as we were walking around, we were looking at the coffee shop, and we were like, oh, I remember these girls from somewhere. And we realized those were the same girls I approached earlier that day, like at the beginning.
5-6 hours earlier, something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we went in and started talking to them a little bit, and we said they invited us to sit with them.
Yeah, they did right away. Well, we started joking with them and saying, oh, come on, you've been following us. I don't know, as a Canadian, I feel in danger in Colombia. Beautiful women chasing me down, whatever. And then they ended up inviting us to join them. So we joined them for coffee.
Yeah, so
had a good time.
We joined them for coffee, had a good conversation, and to me it really helped us see like the playfulness of the culture in that conversation, because you hear it explained a little bit, but when you see it is when the dots kind of just connect, and that conversation actually really helped me become more comfortable with everything that's going on in Colombia and the culture itself.
Because we've been talking a lot about how in the West people are robots, and it doesn't work in Latin America. You come here with logic, and you're trying to get data into her brain by communicating it in words. It's basically the absolute worst thing you can possibly be trying to do. You need to be able to learn how to communicate with your eyes and to communicate without saying things. Even the words you're saying, use of subtext and stuff like that, so that you're actually communicating with her emotionally and through your eyes and physically. And yeah, you're kind of using words, but you're telling her everything you want her to know without saying it in words. If you think she's stunning, you should be communicating that. I mean, I'll say it verbally too, but the verbal doesn't do anything. You have to be communicating that with how you look at her and how you touch her and how you stand with her and how you stop her and everything, right?
Yeah. And I think that's the main mistake that I made when I first approached. Because coming from the West, I was like, oh, let's talk about stuff and then maybe this will work. But it was very different. So anyway, we have our conversation and we had a lot of fun just messing around with the following, and also one of the girls were really into taking pictures, so we were just making fun, like messing around with, oh, you're an Instagram influencer, or oh, you take so many pictures, and it was a lot of fun. So following up that fun, you got one of the girls' numbers, and we were like, oh, let's grab coffee some other time. And one mistake I made there was I didn't take the girl's number. And yeah, that's something I own up to. That was a mistake.
Why? Was that just because you had no balls because of the first interaction and she didn't give you her number?
I think partially that, and partially it was my first day, like after sleeping 3-4 hours. By the end, I was feeling pretty exhausted. But yeah, definitely the first rejection kind of just affected the way that I took things at the time.
You have to build in the ability to just keep pushing for what you want. Not in a bad, uncharming way, but just, how she's feeling in the moment is completely different. Because it's 5 hours later, she's feeling totally different, laughing and joking and being playful. It's not the same woman that you're talking to.
Yeah.
She's a completely different woman, right? So, yeah, I'm glad that didn't bite you in the ass. So anyway, I'm going to fast forward you in case our flight comes. So then we ended up getting together with them to go look at a bunch of light shows and whatever, which was crazy. There was like a couple 100,000 people there probably.
There's so many.
Packed with people. Crazy. It was like walking through carnival. It was crazy. So we went there last night with both of them. And then what happened?
Yeah, then, I was talking to the girl that I was interested in, and when we were walking around, we built a lot of rapport. We were messing around. I was joking about how she was my Spanish professor because she would correct my Spanish, and we were messing around, and as we were walking, I built some touch. I was just like hugging her a little bit like this, and it wasn't something I thought about. It just came naturally, and I think that's one of your main points, right? You just feel it, and then you go off it.
Yeah, it's really. I want to put it nicely, but it's really disgusting to see how in the West we just neuter and slaughter the way that things happen so naturally. So you take like the way things happen naturally between a guy and a girl when they're attracted to each other, and the chemistry and the attraction and the passion and all that stuff is growing, and it's romantic and it's beautiful and it's amazing and it's fucking incredible. And then in the West, not Tusk, some teachers online and some students online will be like, oh yeah, you get it into a system and you do this, and then like 2 minutes of keynote here, and then you do keynote here, and then don't forget to escalate, and then you spike the attraction, and then she's your target, and it's like, oh my god, you're taking this fucking incredible experience and you're butchering it down into like 10 pathetic steps to getting her added on your spreadsheet. It's just so non-romantic. But anyway, it doesn't work here. So if you want to be with Latinas, you've got to be romantic.
Yeah.
So anyway, you were there, you were being very in the moment, natural, it was escalating, it was building because you guys were just being affectionate with each other. And then...
so what happened after that was, at the end, she was with a friend, it was the two of us and the two girls.
We've got about 3 minutes before we have to lunch.
At the end, we use a lot of Google Translate, both of our Spanish is not the best, so I was like, hey, I'm leaving tomorrow, and if you want to come by, I'd love to talk to you more. I had a really fun time so far.
That's not what you said, because when you gave me your phone with the text, hey, would you like to come back to my hotel with me, or something like that. And so I deleted it all, and I wrote instead something along the lines of, hey, I'm really enjoying spending time with you, but I have to leave tomorrow. I'd like to talk to you some more. Come with me.
Yeah.
Which is totally different than what you just said, which is a very passive, gay sort of. Well, you want to be directive. You want to be like, no, come with me. Not bossing her around, but taking leadership and guidance and being decisive, right? If you're like, would you like to come to my hotel? You're putting it on her. You're like, that's so unromantic. You should be instead like, hey, I'm going back to my hotel. Come with me.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
And one thing I recognized there is she read it, and for like 10 seconds, she just made straight eye contact with me.
Which is a shit test.
Yeah, to see if I would be like,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to insinuate da-da-da-da. It's like, no, like, it's a shit test. Oh, are you really manly enough to have said that? Okay, good.
yeah, and then she's like, good. And then she's like, yeah, I'll come. So then she came back, and yeah, we just, hung out, talked a little bit, went to my room. But I think the main...
Hung out. Delete from your vocabulary.
No.
You didn't hang out with some chick in your hotel room. You took her to your hotel room.
Yes.
And you had a delicious experience with her. You experienced the real Colombia on your second day here.
Yeah, to me, it was insane.
What was your Colombian experience? What's it like being with a Colombian woman? Comparison to being with a woman in the U.S.
They know what they're doing. Like, it's completely different. It's a lot more central. Like, exactly what you were saying. Even if nothing physical happened with her, just from our experience of talking to them and experiencing their femininity, we had so much fun. Like, at some point that night, I was like, I don't care if this goes, like, I want this to go forward, but if this doesn't go forward, and that's fine. Like, I had so much fun.
Once you really get it and you start to see that what you're actually hungering for in your connection with her is her femininity, what she's hungering for from you is your masculinity, not your dick. And so when you don't understand that, you think, oh, I just want to get laid, get my rocks off. It's very beta, very low level, right? But when you understand more about it, you're like, oh my God, I want to drink in her femininity. And obviously the most extreme form of that is in bed. But I'd rather go out with a woman, an extremely feminine woman, and just have coffee and just laugh and joke and flirt with her. And that's like far more fulfilling than having sex with a non-feminine woman. Like even any position you can imagine 10 times in a row for 3 days. It's like, no way, that doesn't fill your soul. But hanging out with oh shit, you got me saying it.
Oh
my God. No, delete that.
Corruption.
But spending time getting to know a really feminine woman and just interacting with her and drinking in her femininity, holy fuck, that literally feeds your soul. And I've had times where it's like, fuck, exactly like you're saying. This doesn't even, if it becomes sexual, that's fucking awesome. If it doesn't become sexual, that's fucking awesome. I've already got my needs met, my fix, my craving. Because I was craving her femininity, and you don't just get that in bed. You get that from interacting. And obviously, if you're interacting really well with her masculinity or her femininity and your masculinity, it's going to usually lead to bed anyway, because that's how it works, right? So anyway, so you're back in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And what was it like?
It was, I think one thing I would mention is just through the femininity, like I was like, I want to give this experience to this girl. Like it was not about me. It's just something you bring up a lot in terms of like, don't go there to just satisfy yourself. Make it about her. Give her the experience. And I felt that. And I feel like in the past it was a thought I had in my head, but I never fully felt it. And this was the first time where I was like, oh my God, this girl is so cute, so adorable. I just had to give her this experience. And what was it like? Well, without going into too much detail, it's... I don't even know how to describe it, man. It's just...
Try, you're on video.
It's a different level, but yeah, I would say, like, they know what they're doing. And
well, it's not so much that they know what they're doing. It's that they're very passionate and emotional. And being feminine means you're very in touch with your emotions, and you're expressing your emotions through your body. So it makes sense that obviously if you're feeling a ton of emotions like passion and connection, attraction and love and whatever she's feeling, and then she's expressing that physically through the way that she's kissing and touching and moving and sounds that she's making, everything, it's like that's gonna make an incredible fucking sexual experience, because it's very different than two robots just sharing their body parts with each other, right? And so it's like salsa dancing without your clothes on, you know? And that's why salsa is so fucking erotic and bachata to watch, because you're like, oh my God, they're like expressing their sexuality through dance, right? Yeah. And so
you see that passion in the way that they move, or like they do anything. It's just there's so much emotion.
They feel and they express
that
feeling through things like what they say, or how they say it, or how they look, or their eyes, or their everything. Right?
Oh man, yeah.
So generally, not a bad experience in bed. What do you want to say to other guys that are like, because I always talk this shit, and other guys are like, oh no, there's femininity everywhere. Oh, I think women are super feminine in Germany too, or wherever. And it's like, oh, you just don't understand, man.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit, tell everybody else who's watching, what's your take on like, oh, there may be some truth to like, you know, Colombia's like the epicenter of femininity in the world.
Yeah, I've heard you talk a lot about this, which was the main reason I came here. And you're completely right, man. This is a different level of femininity. And we were just, before this video, we were joking about how I was corrupted now. And I wouldn't be able to date people when I go back home.
It does suck. Like I spent 6 months back in Canada, and it was literally like a wasteland, a barren wasteland. Because you're just like, what you're going for is femininity. And once you interact and enjoy that femininity, it's you can't go back to just like it's like dating cardboard cutouts. Like it just doesn't. And I don't mean the women can be extremely physically beautiful. Like in Vancouver, the women are like extremely physically well taken care of. Well, in some ways, like they go to the gym tons, they do yoga tons, they're in great shape, their bodies look great or whatever. Their skin's really clean, you know. They don't eat at McDonald's, right? But there's no femininity. And it's like they don't walk in heels. They don't know how to walk in heels. They, you know, their nails aren't done. Their hair isn't done. They don't laugh and giggle and cuddle and kiss and like all this stuff in the same way. You know, it's quite different.
Yeah. So I would say just you have to experience it to understand it.
So you think, have you got your fill out of the boot camp already on day 3?
Yeah, if nothing happens
you
after
could go home
this,
from here. You could just sleep
no,
for the next 2
I
weeks.
can't go home. I'm canceling my return ticket, man.
You could just sleep
Screw
for the next
home.
2 weeks, and you're like, hey, I still got everything I wanted out of the boot camp. Awesome. Cool. All right, we're gonna catch our flight here, and we'll touch base with you guys shortly in Cartagena.
All right, see you guys.